Coming up, check out how the NIL deal is impacting student athletes.
Then see how teachers are adjusting in a post-pandemic world.
Finally, get a look into the exploration of book arts.
All this and more on the Omaha News.
Good afternoon, I'm Connor Schmidt.
And I'm Sapphire Bennett.
Religious extremism has been in national news frequently in the last couple of decades. Reporter Ben Badafarano says that one ideology has been gaining significant influence in the U.S.
In national political discussions, a new phrase is becoming increasingly common: Christian nationalism. Christian nationalists are a small minority of Christians that believe that the U.S. was founded as a Christian country and advocate to privilege Christians over others in society. According to a Pew Research Center survey from March, 13% of U.S. adults say the federal government should declare Christianity the official religion of the U.S. To prompt a discussion on the ideology, the Creighton University Justice and Peace Studies program recently hosted a screening of the documentary Bad Faith. The film covers the history of Christian nationalism in the U.S., from the Ku Klux Klan to politicians today. The event was commissioned by the director of the program, Dr. Daniel DeLeo. DeLeo says that Christian nationalists exploit Christian teachings to further their political goals.
What aspects of, in this case, the Christian tradition, can we reference to kind of proof text the policy that we're supporting on other grounds? And so there's this kind of after-the-fact religious appeal to justify what is primarily a partisan position.
After the screening, audience members participated in a Q&A with journalist and author Ann Nelson. Her 2019 book on the far right, Shadow Network, is featured in the film. Nelson's book investigates how the Christian far right moved from the fringe into the mainstream. The chief organization responsible is called the Council for National Policy, which started in the early 1980s. Nelson spent years researching the project and includes over 100 pages of references and notes. One of Dr. DeLeo's undergraduate students, Megan Hill, attended the screening. She says that the film was eye-opening.
Wasn't fully aware of, because I never actually got the time to deep dive into what was actually happening behind the scenes. So it was kind of cool and a little bit disheartening to see how much was actually happening behind the scenes of because of these groups.
Prior to the film screening, DeLeo says he received a few emails from members of the community accusing the film as being partisan. He encouraged them to watch the film, do their own research, and to keep an open mind.
The documentary is available on most major streaming platforms, and you can check out Nelson's book at the Omaha Public Library.
Ben, there are a lot of different religious nationalist groups in the U.S. and abroad. What makes Christian nationalism different?
The biggest difference is that Christians have always made up a dominant majority of the population here, about 64% today, according to a 2020 survey by the Pew Research Center. Christian nationalists tend to rely on a fear narrative that Christians will lose their majority in the country.
Thank you, Ben.
Name, image, and likeness deals have dominated the college sports landscape over the last few years. Reporter Connor Schmidt tells us how these deals operate on a small-scale campus like UNO.
Name, image, and likeness, otherwise known as NIL, are the three elements that make up the right of publicity. It's a legal concept that is used to prevent or allow the use of an individual to promote a product or service. Since the NCAA implemented this historic rule change, even student athletes at mid-sized institutions like UNO are finding ways to capitalize on their talents and personal brands. The Omaha Bull Market is an organization that provides NIL opportunities to student athletes at UNO. The Bull Market is funded solely through member donations. These donations help the Bull Market create NIL partnerships between Maverick student athletes and organizations around the Omaha community. Aaron Whaley, co-founder of Sign Sports Management, tells us how NIL can affect student athletes at UNO.
A third of our athletes aren't on full scholarship, so for us to be able to give them a little extra money for dinner out or a gas money to get home or things like that, so it's more meaningful than, say, some of the larger schools, in my opinion.
While big NIL deals at large schools can reach the seven-figure range, UNO athletes have seen more modest yet still impactful figures.
UNO volleyball player Morgan DeBow tells us why NIL is important to her at UNO.
I just think you got to make time for things that are important to you, and NIL is really important to me because it's a sense of community. It's a sense of continuing to put your name out there and to get others interacted with you.
For many student athletes, these deals provide enough money to cover expenses, support family, or save for the future. It's a shift that changes the college experience for many student athletes, allowing them to benefit from their hard work and popularity. For the Omaha News, I'm Connor Schmidt.
According to collegefootballnetwork.com, the top NIL valuation in college sports right now is Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, who is valued at $5.1 million. Coming up, we explore how teachers adjust post-pandemic.
Then, we give you the latest on Omaha's Crossroads rebuild after the break.
Create, perform, communicate. College of Communication, Fine Arts, and Media.
Explore the historic Blackstone District in Omaha, Nebraska. With over a dozen restaurants, bars, and social settings, you can experience everything the iconic district has to offer. Eat, drink, socialize, and enjoy the day or night here in Blackstone.
Nearly 3,000 student athletes competing in 19 varsity sports from 9 institutions. Compete for nationally ranked teams to become academic All-Americans and NCAA champions. Nearly 100,000 students and more than 800,000 alumni celebrate their schools as they rise to reach the summit. The Summit League, where tomorrow's leaders reach the summit today.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha's bookstore is home to more than books. The UNO bookstore accommodates all students' needs with phone and laptop repairs at the iFix UNO station or free residence hall delivery. The bookstore, located in the Milevale Student Center, is full of Maverick merchandise. Find sweatshirts for chilly Nebraska days or cozy UNO mugs for every coffee fix. Shop anytime at unobookstore.com.
Four years after the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted education, public school teachers are still dealing with the lasting impacts on their students and classrooms. I spoke with educators on how they are adjusting and moving forward. COVID may feel like a thing of the past for many, but for teachers, its effects are still very much present. Teachers' challenges include not only helping students catch up academically, but also preparing them for life after high school. Because of the remote learning period during the pandemic, teachers were forced to adapt to increased technology usage. Despite the initial resistance, many have continued using digital tools in their teaching today. Omaha North teacher Sheila Connor says there are many tools she now appreciates that she hadn't used before the pandemic.
Like the online textbook for students. I used to never use that, but now I use it a lot more. And it's great because it comes with features like the audiobook, where it has things in different languages for the students.
During the remote education period in 2020 and 2021, students had to become accustomed to their classes on Zoom and Microsoft Teams. One of the biggest challenges teachers face is the academic setbacks from the pandemic. Teachers report an evident learning gap that came from the prolonged period of remote education, with many students still struggling to recover. While educators are helping students close these learning gaps, others are helping students look at different opportunities for after high school. Allison Isles, former high school guidance counselor, now works with ACE Mentorship, a program that prioritizes workforce development for high school students. Allison says that the pandemic only reinforced that the traditional college pathway is not for everyone, and that it's just as important to teach students about the workforce.
And so let's actually look at career development in high school. And again, we're not going to pick your career and this is it, that you're pigeonholed for the rest of your life. But it's just understanding like the skill sets you'll learn for this career could also be transposed in this career.
As teachers help students recover from the effects of COVID, they're also encouraging and preparing students for a future they can thrive in.
Crews across the country are still working on restoring power after Hurricane Helene made landfall in the U.S. Reporter Brian Tesmer shows us how the Omaha Public Power District is helping assist in the relief.
Just over a week after Hurricane Helene made landfall in the U.S., recovery efforts are still underway. While local crews are working hard to restore power as quickly as possible, many states have sent crews to assist with the recovery efforts. Locally, OPPD has sent a 16-person crew to assist in restoration effects.
So what we do is when we see the weather forecast coming, there's a large group of mutual aid companies across the United States that start making calls, having meetings, predicting the weather a little bit to determine whether we're going to pre-stage before the storm hits or if we're going to come in after the damage. So in this case, because it was so far away, we didn't know where we were going to go, we opted not to pre-stage and we waited till the damage basically came through, and then we got our crews together.
The 16-person crew made their way to Charleston on October 2nd. The team consists of 4 3-person line crews, a member of the safety team, a supervisor, and 2 transportation mechanics.
But the damage is just, I think, about the worst we've ever seen, especially the terrain. We're not used to all the mountains and hills and things like that we don't really see here. So,
more than 850,000 customers are still without power last Thursday evening. This according to PowerOutages.us. The Federal Emergency Management Agency said Thursday as well that they have already restored power to 3.3 million homes.
Helene's floodwaters have taken out so many power poles and electrical lines that infrastructure will need to be rebuilt before power is restored in some locations.
Well, so initially we'll do what we can to get power back on, whether that's rerouting power, new lines, things like that. But the overall damage is going to take months and months and months for the host utility to clean up.
The team has finished their work in the Virginia area and are now headed south to prepare for Hurricane Milton. For the Omaha News, I'm Brian Tesmer.
We've watched Omaha's new Central Library rise out of the ground in record time, but work has been much slower across Dodge Street.
Omaha City Council has reached a new agreement with the Crossroads developers, holding them to a new 2032 deadline. City Council President Pete Festerson says the project at Omaha's third busiest intersection has been on a frustrating timeline for lots of people.
We'll be a much more active partner. We can control certain portions of the timeline this spring, and we'll actually be owners of property inside.
Multifamily housing, a central green with retail options, and a new-to-market entertainment complex are all a part of the first phase to be complete by 2027. The Crossroads was supposed to open in 2024, but most of the 40-acre site remains a grassy field. Plans have changed significantly since 2020, but a new developer from Utah is now helping construction go vertical. Woodbury Corporation representatives said existing work on utilities will make the job easier. The city will own land to construct underground garages, leasing the land on top to Woodbury to ensure progress. Festerson noted that sewer work had been done and roads were paved, but himself and others were becoming frustrated with the condition of the site.
There were times this summer when weeds were way too long, grass wasn't getting mowed as frequently as it should, and dust too from on windy days. So those are things we're seeking to get addressed in this most recent redevelopment agreement.
Over $100 million in tax increment financing will help go towards the $861 million total for construction costs.
Our experienced faculty offers one-of-a-kind instruction and hands-on training for all our students. Sports play-by-play.
The council unanimously passed the agreement on September 24th, and a Woodbury official said that at least one tenant should be announced soon. With the Omaha News, I'm Andrew Smith. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Coming up on the Omaha News, see how local artists are reviving an old art form.
Then, learn about a local Lego store specializing in the hard to find.
There seems to be like this gathering right here of really great minds and really great ideas.
I think it's a great moment, to teach a UL student.
Being here, I get like a jump start on my journalism career.
I found a lot of people that are interested in like the same things as me.
Sort of a lifetime changing career for me and the best way it could happen.
I never thought I'd be standing in the clouds looking down on the ancient ruins of the Incan Empire.
I never thought I'd live among the street artists in Valparaiso. I never thought I'd make friends that would last a lifetime.
Adventure's out there, and as Mavericks, it's up to us to find it.
Stop thinking, start doing. Visit educationabroad.unomaha.edu.
Create. Perform. Communicate. College of Communication, Fine Arts, and Media.
Welcome to Spotlight Omaha, your go-to for arts, culture, and entertainment news around the Omaha metro area. Good afternoon, I'm Jenna Jansen, and today we're talking about old art forms and Lego sets. In today's digital world, some artists are turning to century-old techniques to keep physical elements of art alive. I explored the world of book arts in Omaha. In a time dominated by screens and digital media, book arts, an ancient form of artistic expression, is seeing a revival. Artists in Omaha are using traditional techniques like paper making, book binding, and letterpress printing to create something tangible and meaningful. Artist and educator Kyle Nobles says that book arts offers a unique experience, allowing people to physically engage with the artwork itself.
There's something to me about the physicality of artwork that gets really interesting, and book is so unique in that it not only allows there to be a physicality, a tactility to it, but it also allows the viewer to participate in the work, right? They do get to pick it up, they do get to experience that tactile feel of things.
In studios just like this, artists are using presses and prints from over centuries ago. Now, it's not just about keeping the past alive, but using the past to create new ideas and new tools to better help the future. For many artists, the appeal lies in that tangible, tactical experience. Assistant Professor of Book Arts and Papermaking at UNO, A.B. Gorham says, book arts is thriving, particularly as artists from different disciplines embrace this medium.
It's actually a really lovely time in the book arts world. I think there are artists from all different mediums starting to approach the book as an artistic medium. People are realizing that in an increasingly digital world, tactile interaction still reigns supreme.
You know, if I've learned anything from being involved with book arts and watching book artists, is that there's never any way to discount them from finding ways to keep themselves relevant in some way, shape, or form.
Emergence of book arts is evident right here at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, where the program recently held a successful exhibit showcasing student and faculty work. An Omaha Lego resale store is nearing their anniversary. Reporter Grace Huffstetler explores what Bricks and Minifigs offers for Lego lovers.
Bricks and Minifigs is Omaha's first and only Lego resale store. They specialize in selling and trading Lego sets, minifigures, and bricks. They receive lots of current and new sets from Lego, but also receive a lot older sets that you wouldn't find in regular stores today.
So it helps set us apart from a normal Lego store by carrying retired stuff and stuff that you just can't find anymore.
The store first opened in 2017, and their anniversary is coming up on October 21st. Customers can also trade in older broken Lego sets, or boxes filled with pieces the store refers to as bulk. Brian Seeley, the owner of the store, explains the process of how they handle the sets that they receive.
We will inspect them to verify that they're complete, and then we'll make an offer and we purchase them. Then we go through, clean them up, verify how complete they are, and then resell them.
The store has many aisles filled with Lego sets. There is also the counter with sets and minifigures displayed, ranging from the popular to the hard to find. People who come here have a shared love and appreciation for all things Lego. It's a thrill for customers, adults and children alike, to come in and find something, whether new or old, or a new creation that they built.
We are loved by a lot of people here in the community. It's a great store, great place to come and shop.
With so many sets to purchase, or miscellaneous pieces to find and build your own creations, Bricks and Minifigs offers a unique experience to anyone who walks in. There's always opportunity for fun and creativity for both the customer and the employee. For the Omaha News, I'm Grace Hubsteller.
Bricks and Minifigs will host Roll for Initiative, an event hoping to break the world record for largest tabletop role-playing game on October 19th. The last day to register is October 12th. Omaha promotes the arts throughout the metro area. Art Battle will make its Season 3 return at the Culture House, where artists will craft masterpieces in 20 minutes per round on Saturday. Join us next week for more Spotlight Omaha highlights.
Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Faded grass to a full.
There's a unique educational experience right here in Omaha. With access to top-rated programs, in-demand degrees, and a worldwide community of graduates, UNO prepares students for life, wherever it may lead. From Omaha to Italy to Uganda to Japan, Mavericks are working in communities around the globe. So where will a degree from UNO take you? UNO, access to exceptional, access to the world. Learn more at unomaha.edu.
As drivers make their way along I-80 between Council Bluffs and Omaha, they're getting a glimpse at the perfect storm of wildfire-inducing conditions. Unseasonably, dry air, gusty winds, and below-average rainfall have left stretches of grassland and trees dangerously brittle along the interstate, creating an ideal wildfire environment. This isn't just a rural problem. Interstates like I-80 are vital to connecting the Twin Cities. Field teams are currently conducting controlled burns in select areas near the interstate to eliminate dry vegetation that could easily catch fire. Beyond that, the EPA is focusing on public awareness by issuing burn bans for the state of Nebraska, as well as discouraging usage of dry fuels.
There's a new exhibit on UNO campus that celebrates 75 years of the Caniglia Field. Reporter Riley McCall takes us to the field for more on its history.
75 years ago, the nation hosted its first Emmy Awards. NATO was formed, and award-winning actress Meryl Streep was born. It was also the year Caniglia Field opened its campus stadium. The new stadium was eventually equipped with lights for night games, turf, and a running track. Fans could now cheer for their favorite teams like football and track and field. In 2013, the field was renovated into one of the nation's premier soccer pitches where both men's and women's soccer competed. UNO soccer player Lindsey Burse scored her first goal of the season last month. The junior says it's exciting to play in front of a crowd of more than 400 fans.
It was a really great atmosphere. There was a good turnout, both of our fans and SCSU fans, and usually when we play SCSU, there's way more of them, so it was nice to have more Omaha fans here.
Moments, lots of changes. Tim Walters says that he is honored to play a game here to honor 75 years of anniversary here at Caniglia Field.
Wonderful moments and wonderful experiences out here in Caniglia Field for the last 75 years, and I know the stadium and the field has changed quite a bit in the last 15 years, but we're honored to be a part of it.
The space is also home to fundraising events, intramural sports, and even graduation ceremonies. The exhibit is on display in the first floor of the Curtis Library. You can find it there in the archives and special collections. For the Omaha News, I'm Riley McCullough.
Spooky season is back, and with it comes superstitions regarding black cats. We have a throwback story for today where reporter Maria Consbrook unraveled myths surrounding those felines and how superstitions affect black cat adoptability.
With Halloween just around the corner, pumpkins, ghosts, skeletons, and black cats can be seen all around, encapsulating the image of this very holiday. This time of year casts a special spotlight on particular furry felines, black cats, and the superstitions surrounding them. Professor of Biology at the University of Nebraska-Omaha, Dr. James A. Wilson, explains why humans believe in these particular superstitions.
It comes down to human belief. And so there seems to be a range of how brains are built in humans, and some brains are built to believe more readily than other brains.
With superstitions surrounding these particular feline friends, it makes for a harder time for them to get adopted.
Black cats take the longest time to get adopted in shelters because of the fear surrounding them and the fact that their coat color is black.
Research shows that black cats are 2/3 less likely to get adopted than white cats and half as likely to be adopted as tabby cats. Digital marketing manager at the Nebraska Humane Society, Stephen Ilanich, says there isn't much of a difference when it comes to adopting out black cats at the Nebraska Humane Society.
We don't see a huge difference in adoption rates in black cats during those times of the year, October and Friday 13th occasionally. We do sometimes promote them and market them out there to dispel some of those myths, so people will be more encouraged to come adopt those cats.
With the existing prejudice against black cats, they can have a harder time finding their forever home. Consider adopting a black cat this time of year to help them find a loving home. For the Omaha News, I'm Maria Consbrook.
Low adoption rates among black cats are still a prevalent issue today. This Halloween and holiday season, we encourage you to adopt with an open mind. That's all for today, but the conversation doesn't end here.
You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at UNO The Omaha News, or find our website for even more stories at unomahanews.com.
From all of us here at UNO Television, thanks for watching.